This is Bofades, and he is stuck in ZF until he earns 1 million gold from this dungeon and this dungeon alone. Hi everyone, and welcome back to the series where Bofades is stuck in ZF until he earns 1 million gold. Today's episode is going to cover runs 141 through 150, which is kind of insane, right? Before we get started, let's take a look at what we made overnight. Alright, looks like we made 1,850 gold overnight. A lot of the usual suspects. We did sell a formula for Enchant Bracer for superior stamina. I'm not quite sure why I posted this. Probably because it was like maybe 5 silver to post, right? And then these two plans, I think they go for a little bit more than this. So I sold the plans for the heavy mithril helm for 72 gold. And the median on that is 218 gold. So I did sell it under market price. 38 silver on one realm. That's funny. But anyway, I knew they weren't crazy. So I just went ahead and posted them without caring about where I posted them. So maybe could have squeezed a little bit more gold out of these, but it is what it is, right? Let's go ahead and get this in the bags. All right, that puts us at 101,785 gold. However, that's not where we're starting today. We did get a couple sales on one of our auction house tunes. One of the plans for the Light Earthforged blade sold for 966 gold. You guys have seen me pick up like 8 or 9 of these. And then a Khan's mantle sold for 2,941 gold. And this was on the same realm that we sold the Khan's leggings on. I didn't look at who bought the leggings, so I can't tell you if it was the same person, but it most likely was. So anyway, let's add another 3,907 gold to Bofades' bags. All right, I pulled that out of the warband, and we are now starting at 105,692 gold. However, again, as you can see, we have several lockboxes, and as promised from the last episode, let's go ahead and open all these up. They're already unlocked, so this will be kind of quick, I guess. I'll start Loot Appraiser on this just to see how much we net from these guys. Alright guys, we opened them all up, and apparently we looted 58,586 gold in item value. The two standouts here are the 2 recipes for the Thistle Tea. We have sold one of these in this challenge so far. I cannot remember how much we sold it for. I decided to look it up real quick. 6 days ago we sold our first recipe for 1,700 gold. It is worth a little bit more than that, so I'll make sure that I put it on a different realm this time. Anyway, I'm going to put these in the warband, and I'm going to clean up all this stuff so that we can start with fresh bags. Be right back. Alright guys, we are back. We put a few things in the warband to send over to some of our auction tunes, and then I vendored quite a bit of it, and as you can see our bags are clean. So we are officially starting today at 106,206 gold, which puts us slightly over 10%, almost 11% to our million gold goal. Alright, before we start, I'd like to highlight a few comments. The first one says, "Hi, what's the add-on popping up the auction house price?" So I get this comment on every video, so I think every few videos, every 3 or 4 videos, I'm just going to remind everyone, I guess. It is Loot Appraiser Reloaded, and the auction house price is typically connected to either Ouroboros Exchange or TSM. Ouroboros Exchange is just the median price, which is something that I've been kind of focusing on throughout the challenges on this channel and the other channel. TSM is the more beefy add-on, probably the better one to use. But I found that on my potato of a computer that TSM is not the better add-on for me to use when I'm doing Scarlet Monastery on Socrates. It just makes me lag quite a bit. Next comment says, "The competition is a fun aspect between Horde and Alliance. I found Bofades first, so I watch all these videos and am so invested. Have only watched the Alliance character twice." As always, thanks for the comment and the engagement, and thanks for checking out the channels. In case you're new here, in case this is the very first episode you're watching, there is a challenge going on between Bofades here and Socrates. Bofades is the Horde character, Socrates is the Alliance character. Obviously, Bofades is in ZF here, whereas Socrates is running Scarlet Monastery. And if you haven't been keeping up with Socrates' videos, he has looted 2 super items before he even got to 100 runs. Whereas Bofades here, I think we've looted, what, 5 epics? 5 or 6? You wanted me to say 6, 7, didn't you? And the last comment says, "How dare you make us wait a whole 24 hours. I hope you enjoyed your IRL fun." Yeah, I have 2 daughters and they love the zoo. And I'm also a fairly big Steven Spielberg fan, so I wanted to catch Disclosure Day on opening night. And I have to admit, I'm still not quite sure what I think about it. Have you guys seen it yet? Or are you Spielberg fans like I am? Alright, with that out of the way, let's go ahead and eat our fried bonefish. Let's start with Loot Appraiser. And we need a good day today. Yesterday was pretty bad. High Chief's Bindings, the first green of the day. Hey guys, I'm in the editing room and I'm just now noticing how loud the game sound is, so apologies for that in this video. I'll make sure it's turned down next time. I think it reset to like some sort of default level. A few different people have asked me to do AoE pulls, just pull the entire dungeon and kill everything at the end. Peerless Belt, Bonecaster Sarong here again, guys. Always get it here. My pre-Loot Appraiser days, that's what I did. I would just pull everything at once. But ever since Loot Appraiser became a thing and like the items just pop up on the screen like that, I can't go back to pull in the entire dungeon. I just like seeing the notifications too much. So my wife and I started hardcore characters yesterday, Night Elves. And we didn't download any add-ons or questy or anything, so we're just like raw dogging it. And I was pleasantly surprised by how much fun it was, how much we enjoyed it. We only pushed to level 5, and we decided that we're just going to take our time and just, you know, get to 60 together, kind of just as a kind of a fun side thing that we're doing. Jade gauntlets. Love the jade gauntlets. I was asked yesterday why the jade leg plates and the glorious leg plates are so valuable, and I tried to be subtle with my answer. And a couple people called me out in the comments and said that the only reason they're valuable is because they're bikini mog. But anyway, I was trying not to be reductive in my response. There's typically more nuance to an answer than we think there is. But in this case, I think the commenters are right. I study a lot of philosophy, and I try not to... Bloodlust, nice. And I try not to reduce everything to like black or white, X or Y, this or that, right? I think that nuance is OP in 2026. First round of vendoring there netted us 328 gold. Tyrant's leg plates. Love those. Someone asked me if I knew about this area back here with all the other basilisks and these guys. And I definitely do, but what we're trying to do with this challenge is get 10 runs in an hour. And I still don't have like a really good speed set, or a speed set really at all on this guy. One of the dumber things I did with this challenge is start it on a character without a speed set. And I'm typically looking for speed items on the auction house after these 10 runs every day. Both leather and cloth, because either will be fine for what we're doing here. But I'm not wanting to shell out 2,000 to 5,000 gold per piece. At least not right now in the middle of a challenge, right? I set a very tight budget of 250 gold per piece, which is making it almost impossible to find Wolf Rider's headgear, 4K. Ruined ring. Not sure about that. Sunscale Sabatons, though. That'll be a good one. High Chief's Sabatons. Another round of vendoring netted us 251 gold. Another pair of Sunscale Sabatons. Hey, another Gut Wrencher. Oh my gosh, I think that's 5, right? It has to be 5. So, going back to the speed set conversation. Bloodforged gauntlets. In between challenges, we will get Bofades here a speed set, even if it's a budget one. Just use some of the 1,000,000 gold that we get from here to buy a piece for every slot. Ironhide Greaves. We're also probably going to level him to 90 in a day or two after we're done with this one. And what I'll probably do is pick up a lot of those like level 85, level 88 furnished pieces that have speed on them. They're 113 gold there from vendoring. And I know that's not the most efficient or best thing to do to build a speed set, but I don't want to go through the whole BFA, Heart of Azeroth, Long Strider thing on another character. Min-maxing speed is not a big deal to me, which I know is blasphemous to the gold farming community. Steadfast Buckler, that's pretty good. I mean, I'm running ZF one dungeon until I make 1,000,000 gold. Does it seem like I care a lot about min-maxing inefficiency? Hey, thanks for this up. Oh, Peerless Leggings, Peerless Gloves. Round of vendoring there got us 512 gold. 150 kills with no square holders is insane. Although I did read that some of you, it took you 200 kills to get them. Alright guys, that does it for these 10 runs. Let's go ahead and sell a few things real quick. Alright, I'm gonna disenchant some stuff, vendor some things, and we'll see where we ended up. Alright guys, after disenchanting everything and vendoring a lot of the stuff that I know that I'm not going to try to sell, here's where we are. 27 Greater Eternal Essence, that's on the low end of this challenge. 44 thick leather, 20 rugged leather, cloth, 1 fish. We're starting over on our lockboxes, and we got 5 today. It's not bad. We ended these runs with 108,732 gold, and our top 3 items are the Peerless Leggings, the Bloodlust Buckler, and the Tyrant's Leg Plates. These are the best items according to Loot Appraiser, that is. When we look at the Peerless Leggings, they're 126 across US realms, 4,600 on the low end, 177k for the median. As you can see, we have high and full pops on the low end, but even on Moonguard, full pop Moonguard, 10k. There are 15 up though, so the competition there is kind of insane. So this is a decent item to post. I do have an opinion on this though, that anything above 40,000 on these is a little too high, so I'll price mine accordingly. Next up is the Bloodlust Buckler. 86 across US realms, 844 on the low end, 60k for a median. Area 52 coming in second there. Where's Moonguard? Moonguard, 20k. So not a bad item, according to this. And lastly, the Tyrant's leg plates. 191 across US roams, 1,000 on the low end, 63k median. So this is below 10k on a lot of servers, but the majority of these servers are high and full with a low and a medium there. I think if I were to create a range on this one, I'd probably go about right here-ish, like a little over 9,000 up to 50, depending on where you want to post it. All right, guys, so I'm going to get this all sent off, posted on different auction houses. Not a great 10 runs, but 803k in looted item value. Not bad. Kind of puts that in the middle of the range that we've been seeing across this challenge. As always, if you enjoy this sort of content, I would encourage you to comment, like, subscribe, do whatever it is that you do to engage with YouTube videos. We did hit 600 subscribers last night, which is really, really exciting. Slightly shrinking the gap between this channel and Socrates' channel. So anyway, until next time, take care. See you soon.